By definition, trash is worthless or discarded materials or objects. Humans produce approximately 11 trillion pounds of trash annually, and 30% is by America alone. If America's population isn't even near a billion yet produces about a third of the world's waste, why isn't there trash piling up in everyone's homes? Where can all this garbage possibly go? More than half of our trash ends up in a landfill. As more trash is dumped into these landfills, toxic methane gas is released. As water and waste emits, a toxic substance called leachate eventually breaks through liners into the soil, contaminates our water supply, and escapes into the air. Pollution is the introduction of contaminants into the natural environment, not just through the air. Whether trash pollutes the air, soil, or water, it is damaging the earth. Landfills burn trash when there is too much garbage, releasing more toxic gases into the air. The more trash humans produce, the more toxic the air becomes, harming the environment and humans as well. Humans have polluted the ocean so much with garbage that there's at least 5.25 trillion pieces of trash. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a prime example of our trash harming the environment. This area is twice the size of Texas, and the trash harms all the ocean life in the Pacific Ocean, along with the amounts of trash scattered throughout all oceans. The trash we throw into the water kills the wildlife in the ocean. Plastic bats to turtles and other animals look like jellyfish, and plastic pellets are mistaken as fish aids for birds. When the animal consumes the plastic, since it isn't digested, the animal feels full, causing death from starvation. Littering, whether on land or sea, endangers the environment. Land litter causes car accidents, harms the nature and the life it houses, and kills the animals that are exposed to the waste we leave on the ground. If there was a fine on the amount of trash humans produce like littering, imagine the rippling effect throughout the environment that America alone can fix. One of the most common trash items that is littered is the water bottle. The simple tap water drained from any area possible damages any ecosystem around it. It takes more water to produce the actual water in each bottle, and if we simply use reusable bottles, the environment would be friendlier to the animals in it. Furthermore, only 23% of bottled water is recycled. 75% of America's waste is recyclable, yet we only recycle 30% of it. The scary fact of recycling is that only 38% of paper we use is recycled, meaning more trees need to be killed, and thus no more homes for wildlife. The use of factories producing aluminum cans and plastic, and the deforestation of all parts of the earth could stop by simply recycling. Since our recyclable trash is thrown into landfills and cannot decompose, it is eventually released into our environment in a harmful way. If the world recycled, landfills would just be big compost bins. But what if we ourselves owned compost bins? It creates less garbage, saves money, and creates rich fertilizers. There are no cons about it, yet very few have them. Another way to avoid garbage is to become less of a consumer. You should buy what is essential and necessary for living contently. There's a direct correlation with consuming and happiness. Having a healthy, clean earth should be the greatest feeling of all. However, most feel quite opposite of that idea. America consumes 60% of the world's resources and also creates the most trash as a nation. When we consume up all of our resources, America simply uses up poor countries' resources because we need them more, apparently. The need to consume leads us to deplete our resources, leading to an overall increase of trash as a consequence. Third world countries are considered inferior to countries like America. Without resources, because it is taken away, these countries are impacted the most by trash. When we dump our waste in those places, the toxic substances are released into the air and soil, creating airborne and waterborne diseases. Our trash is only hurting our earth and those on it. Like third world countries receiving the short end of the stick, so do land animals. As population is growing, so is trash, but eventually new landfills will be created, which is a problem. Deforestation has led to the endangerment of many species, and at this rate will cause several extinctions. Forests are a vital source of oxygen, and eventually humans will be affected too. Humans already are affected by contaminated water. 3 million gallons of toxic waste was dumped into the Animas River, having 300 times the normal amount of arsenic and 3,500 times for lead. The carelessness by humans is why water is contaminated this easily. Even though our water wouldn't be yellow, it doesn't mean it's clean either. Harmful chemicals found in drinking water are mercury, lead, and arsenic, which are poisonous to humans. Water companies simply dilute them to the point that water is drinkable, however, it is still there. It won't affect our health now, but in the future, yes. But how do they get in the water? Well, the trash and waste we dump is absorbed into the soil, affecting the lakes, rivers, and our water supply. All life needs water. However, drinking clean water leads to less trash. Bottled water isn't as clean as tap water. There are more studies on tap water than bottled water. Using tap water means reusable bottles instead of plastic, preventing waste. But using purifiers is a step further to ensure the best water you can possibly drink. Another way to prevent less waste is the amount of tissue paper a person uses. Studies show that the use of tissue paper is possibly more harmful than gas guzzlers. Tissue paper isn't made from special soft plants, it is made from trees, and using less tissue squares or air drying your hands will save many trees and animals affected by them. Reduce trash in many aspects of life, like grocery shopping. Using reusable bags instead of plastic bags prevents harmful waste polluting the air and saves trees from becoming paper bags too. Even though it costs more than plastic and paper bags, your health is more valuable in the long run and will make the difference when you live in a cleaner future. Instead of having a disposable mindset on life, try having a conservative one. Instead of paper plates and plastic utensils, try sticking to dishes and silverware. Don't use paper bags for lunch, but simply use a lunch container. Try avoiding the production of anything that can harm the environment. For example, buy used clothes instead of the newest edition, which causes more pollution to the earth. The little things make the biggest impact on the amount of trash you make. If we change our ways and work to save the world, a trash-free planet is possible, especially with the simple word, unless.